What's up, gamers? Hi, Descendants, and hello, Internet. Welcome to another Sloop Gaming stream. And today's Dev Note Volume 8 from the FIRST DESCENDANT by NEXON GAMES. The highly anticipated summer release of this eye candy looter shooter is just months away, and our last Dev Note read was full of exciting updates. So, without further ado, let's see what else is new on the horizon. But first, if you are as pumped up as I am for the release of the FIRST Descendants and enjoy watching this update, then consider subscribing for more TFD content. Thanks. Dev Note Volume 8. Greetings, Descendants. This is the FIRST Descendant dev team. We were a bit worried with the previous Dev Note Volume 7, having the thought that we might have covered too much ground in our attempt to go over everything we were working on instead of going into the details of each topic. It was a relief, though, to see through the community's reaction that many of our Descendants could see the big picture of the direction the development is going. So, while we painted a broad picture last time, we'd like to delve more into several topics in detail from now on, depending on development progress. In this Dev Note, we'll tackle one of the most hotly debated topics among the development team since the last crossplay open beta test: field enhancements. Surveys conducted with our testers and their ratings show that we've made significant improvements to the FIRST Descendant, but we've also heard a lot of frustration with the fields. The dev team agreed, and we've been working together to improve field play as much as possible before the launch, and then continue to update and improve while the game is in service. The first step in enhancing field play was identifying the problems. This conversation created a lot of ideas, but it was critical to determine what the main issues were and what solutions will make sense for the game. After some debate, the dev team identified the main issues as inconvenient co-op play and empty fields. Co-op play improvements. First, let's discuss co-op. The FIRST Descendant, a single field, is relatively big. However, with only 4 players entering this vast field, limited means to assist with co-op, and the frequency of players engaging in missions, seamless co-op play was uneasy to achieve. During our conversations, we contemplated about increasing the number of participants per session, but we decided to put that on hold for the time being, given the path the FIRST Descendant is taking and the comfortable play experience we want to provide. So, with the launch version, the dev team chose to shift the scale of a session to a zone within the field known as Battlefield, rather than a wide field, and we're working on stimulating 4-player co-op on a battlefield by battlefield basis. We focused on making co-op play to be more fluent by improving our session matching rules, introducing the option to request support during missions, and more. We'll talk more about usability enhancements later in this note. Field content enrichment. Next, let's explore the enrichments to field play. During the last crossplay open beta test, one of the most common feedback we heard about the fields was that they were too static and there wasn't any content to play unless you had a mission. This wasn't our initial intention, and we've been reviewing the quote-unquote empty fields in 2 ways: adding and improving missions and adding more field content. We'll talk more about the improvements to missions another time, but today we'll focus on the new field content. New content: Encrypted Vault. Currently, the dev team is focusing on adding combat and out-of-combat content to the fields, with the latter dubbed Encrypted Vault. These vaults are strewn around the field, carrying information and resources that the Magisters have hidden away. Descendants will be able to locate and decrypt them using a simple mini-game to gain rewards. As out-of-combat content, it will be a welcome change of pace in between playing the fields. New content: Void Fragment and Void Fusion Reactor. Fields include items known as Void Fragments. The Void Fragment can only be destroyed by an attack of a matching attribute, and when destroyed, an item known as a Void Shard can be obtained. When you acquire Void Shards and put them in a so-called Void Fusion Reactor, a secret monster known as a Vulgus Commander is summoned. Defeating the summon commander will yield a reward, making this an additional piece of content that can be replayed alongside the field missions. New content, Vulgus Recon Outpost. In addition, the fields are now littered with Vulgus Outpost from the invasion of Ingress. Karel's instructions to find the Ironheart prompted the establishment of recon outposts throughout the field. These outposts are scattered around the area and vary in size depending on importance. Scouts monitor the field, beginning with the smallest outpost. Players will frequently encounter and go into battle with them as they explore the fields. The large outposts house massive power units to investigate the Ironheart and transmit battle data back to their base. Because of their significance, they are guarded by Vulgus garrisons. When a Descendant discovers an outpost, they are automatically assigned a mission to destroy it. Your objective is to eliminate the Vulgus station there and destroy the outpost, dealing a blow to Karel and the Vulgus Legion. New content, records. Next, as you explore the fields, you'll discover various records. These are devices that contain hidden stories that shed light on the worldview surrounding the continent of Ingress. They can be obtained from various objects in the fields, as well as through different in-game activities, such as quest completion, and they are saved via the UI. Adding field difficulty and usability features. As we mentioned previously in the dev notes, once you've completed the normal difficulty, you'll be able to switch to hard, which will be quite the challenge. The new dungeons will also be available in normal and hard difficulty, and we'll go over in greater detail later. The hard difficulty in particular features a drop rotation system. Each battlefield includes a drop mechanism that changes on a regular basis, allowing players to identify and play in battlefields that drop items they might need. The drop rotation information will be detailed in the UI to ensure seamless gameplay and enjoyable item farming. So this is fantastic, a great way to target farm whatever you're looking for. In addition, the ability to submit support requests to other players during missions, we're implementing a few more changes to make field play more fun. First of all, you can now change Descendants in non-Albion field camps, and we've also created new waypoints outside of regular camps to help replay missions much easier. So this is excellent. Not only can you request support to bring an extra gun to your fire team to handle more difficult content, but you can also switch up your Descendant to customize the team composition and get through whatever the activity is. Wrapping up, today we've elaborated on everything we can about what's coming to the fields in the future, and while there's obviously a limit to how much we can explain in words and pictures, the team is anxious to share as much as possible in one form or another. We'll talk more about areas that require additional work, such as mission enhancements, next time, and we'd love to hear your feedback and thoughts so we can continue the conversation in future dev notes. We eagerly welcome your ongoing interest and feedback on the First Descendant, and finally, we'd like to end this dev note by sharing the full field map of the launch version we're now working on. Thank you. It's a lot of zones to fill with content. And there you have it, Dev Note Volume 8 from the First Descendant by NEXON Games. I'll tell you what, I said it before, I'm pumped up. I can't wait for the summer release of this new eye candy looter shooter. Very excited to play. What are your thoughts on what we just read? What are you expecting from the First Descendant? Do you like these changes? What other changes are needed? As always, let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Likes and shares are kindly appreciated, and subscribe for more content. Peace.